Open your feed and you're instantly bombarded with advice on how to become a billionaire, buy a fleet of supercars, and join the ultra-wealthy. But the statistical reality of American incomes looks very different from the internet's hustle culture. When we break down the census data, the entire country actually falls into 6 measurable, specific income levels. This chart maps out those brackets based on median earnings. Level 1 represents the bottom 20% of people, with a median income of just over $21,000. Moving up one step brings us to the lower middle class. At level 2, that median income roughly doubles to $44,800. Level 3 is where the true middle class begins. To reach this bracket, you need to be earning about $71,000. Above that is level 4, the upper middle class, sitting at an income of $115,000. Then we cross into level 5. This is the upper class, where the average jumps to over $189,000. And finally, there is level 6, the top 1%. The median income here reaches just under $800,000, a figure that towers over every other bracket on the chart. We often view these brackets as a scoreboard, assuming that the higher the number, the more successful the life. But every move up this ladder requires a trade. To increase the output, you have to increase the inputs: more time, higher stress, and greater personal risk. By analyzing the return on investment for each level, we can determine which income bracket actually matches your specific lifestyle goals. At the foundation, levels 1 and 2 rely on direct physical inputs. This usually means trading raw hours for a paycheck without the benefit of financial leverage or specialized software. The primary goal at this tier is securing the basics: rent, groceries, and a foothold in the lower middle class. These levels carry the highest vulnerability to economic shocks. Without discretionary capital, a single car repair or medical bill can become a systemic crisis. Because the income is tied directly to hours worked, there is often very little time or energy left at the end of the day to invest in the skills needed to move up. However, because the baseline is so precarious, the ROI for upskilling here is significant. A single certification can move an earner from a state of constant survival to a state of relative stability. For those in these first 2 levels, every additional dollar earned goes directly toward removing a baseline source of stress, resulting in a significant gain in day-to-day security. To reach levels 3 and 4, the $71,000 to $115,000 range, the type of effort changes. This tier requires specialized degrees or trade skills, usually performed within a structured 40 to 50-hour work week. In exchange for that specialization, these brackets unlock the ability to realistically save for a home and achieve true middle-class stability. It also provides enough surplus income to begin retirement investing, allowing your money to start working as hard as you do. The trade-off is a capped ceiling. Working for an employer or within a specific trade means there is a limit to how much you can earn without changing your entire business model. However, that cap comes with time protection. You generally have predictable hours and lower systemic risk than those running the entire engine. For many, this represents a mathematical sweet spot, an optimal balance between the effort invested and the resulting quality of life. To enter levels 5 and 6, the inputs shift to a different scale of intensity. These tiers require taking on asymmetrical risk. This means either fronting the capital to start a business or carrying 6 figures of debt for the elite credentials required in medicine or law. The time commitment often expands to 60 or 80 hours a week, with the added weight of high-level corporate or professional liability. The potential outcome is generational wealth and the kind of financial autonomy that few ever reach. But the trade-offs are steep. Once your foundational needs and comforts are met, each additional dollar has a smaller impact on your daily happiness. Maintaining this level of income often means sacrificing personal health, missing family milestones, and losing control over your own schedule. Reaching level 6 isn't just a career milestone, it is a lifestyle overhaul, where the primary focus of your existence becomes the maintenance of the income engine. We can see the total cost of these brackets by plotting income against the required lifestyle sacrifice. From level 1 to level 4, the growth is linear. A steady, manageable increase in effort yields a steady, predictable increase in income. But look at the shift at levels 5 and 6. The line bends sharply. The sacrifice required to hit these top tiers grows much faster than the income itself. Moving from $21,000 to $71,000 changes everything about your physical security, from the food you buy to the neighborhood you can afford. In contrast, moving from $115,000 to $800,000 primarily changes the numbers on an investment spreadsheet. It rarely alters the baseline comfort of your daily routine. This curve illustrates a hard truth. Past level 4, you start paying a much higher price in time and stress for every additional dollar you bring home. If your goal is to maximize time with family and maintain a low-stress schedule, targeting levels 3 or 4 is the most efficient path. If you have an exceptionally high risk tolerance and work is your primary passion, then the sacrifices of levels 5 and 6 may be worth the leverage they provide. The risk is allowing societal pressure or online hustle culture to push you toward a level 6 grind when your personal values are actually satisfied at level 4. Defining enough requires looking past the raw numbers and looking at the actual weekly schedule you want to live. True wealth optimization involves aligning your income bracket with the specific responsibilities and time commitments you are actually willing to sustain.